What's going on, guys? Chad. Hey, I'm going to try to show you guys something here. I'm not sure if anyone out there has ever had any issues with their auxiliary switch on the dashboard of these motorhomes. Specifically, I'm talking about Winnebagos here, just because that's what I'm dealing with, and I've checked on mine also. And this here is a 94 Winnebago Adventurer, and this one was having a problem with the auxiliary battery switch on the dashboard. When you would go to cut the auxiliary batteries on to send power to where you could then start your generator when you're, of course, boondocking, this one was having issues. When you hit the switch, the lights would be real dim, then they'd cut on, but when you'd go to hit the generator power switch, the lights would dim, the generator wouldn't fire at all. Now, every now and then when you cut it off, you cut them back on, it would seem like it gets a better connection, the generator would fire up, everything would be fine, but it wasn't constant. So we tore down through it, and I've found up here on the front, now these are going to be in different places. I know on mine it's in one of the under basement storage compartments, but in this one, on the firewall, you've got your front fuse panel here, and then on the side of that, I'm going to try to get you down in there. This compartment had this door mounted to the side of it that says battery, mode, solenoid, and relays, and on the side of that is the air compressor for the air horns. But once you take that compartment off, inside of here there's two fairly large solenoids where all your main large power wires go. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but down here on the bottom, on that bottom solenoid, there's a 5 amp fuse that mounts right to the top of it. Chances are that's going to be my problem. So I'm about to replace that fuse here, and hopefully that's going to get us straight. Now while I'm in there, I'm also going to check all the terminals, loosen everything up, give them a good wiggle, maybe take my wire brush to them and clean some of the corrosion off. But if you're having problems with your auxiliary power switch on the dash on these Winnebagos, you may want to give this a check. Like I said, they will be located in different spots. They're going to be somewhat close to the batteries, but you know, they could. Mine was real close. My batteries in my Winnebago, which is a 97, the batteries are under the steps at your main entrance door, and this solenoid box was in the storage compartment just to the right of the door. Now this one, the batteries are under the steps, but the solenoids are up here on the firewall. Now this motorhome being laid out a little different, you know, they're going to be in different spots. But if you trace back those wires, you shouldn't have a problem finding it, and they should be labeled with some kind of identification. Alright guys, I hope this helped you out. I'll give you a final look after I replace this fuse and we see if it works out. Alright guys, again, not sure how well you'll see this, but the 5 amp fuse was blown, so I'm pretty sure that was my problem. I also noticed the loose connection going to one of the solenoids, so I tightened that up. Let's give it a try, see if we fixed it. And I'd also pulled the switch out just to take a look at the switch, but the switch seemed fine, so I'm gonna put that back in. I can hear it's working already. It's turning that solenoid. We got lights on, lights off, lights on, lights off, on, so we ought to be able to fire the generator now. Good deal. Alright, if y'all have any issues with your auxiliary battery switch, locate those solenoids, check that 5 amp fuse, and check all your connections on the solenoids. Hope this helps.